openly as the sun shines warm light on you and me across every distance. So show our love, dare to dance. Spread love readily, pave the long road ahead tenderly. Your soothing blessings heal all pain and suffering. Walks tall while sharing smiles. Love's found in silent gratitude's eyes. Love's giving more than yesterday. Believing strong, brave and not afraid. Give love openly as the sun shines warm light on you and me across every distance. So show our love, dare to dance. Spread love readily, pave the long road ahead tenderly. Your soothing blessings heal all pain and suffering. As the sun shines warm light on you and me across every distance. So show our love, dare to dance. Spread love readily, pave the long road ahead tenderly. Your soothing blessings heal all pain and suffering. Your soothing blessings heal all pain and suffering. Love openly as the sun shines warm light on you and me. Your soothing blessings heal all pain and suffering. Your soothing blessings heal all pain and suffering.
Shall we start? Or should we wait for a few more minutes?
Can start.
Can start? So good evening, everybody. Really welcome all of you to our second round of Blossom of Wisdom. Basically, this is a sharing that we would like to promote, basically book sharing sessions, not ordinary books. Those books are from Chiji. You can purchase or source from our Ching bookshop. These are lots of wonderful books. Some are very touching story or even full of wisdom. So basically our session here is to promote more and more people read, especially Chiji books. So they are really full of wisdom and full of Dharma from Master Ching. Basically, it's good for our well-being, like to cleanse our mind, our, practice the right way. And today we are very honorable and to have Sister Siewching to come here to share with her a wonderful sharing of 50 years of Bodhisattva Path. Basically, for those who know Sister Siewching, she is such a wonderful lady, very dedicated and towards Chiji, especially towards the English group in Chiji Selangor. I just came to know, sorry, sister, I do not know you, but I now, after hearing from Suling, I'm so touched and really feel so wonderful to have you to come here to share with us tonight. And she is so dedicated. She has been Chiji active volunteer for the last 10 over years. She is somebody who do not know Mandarin, but she's so dedicated and really diligent to translate all master teaching in English and to promote everybody come and listen to Dharma. She can even share the Dharma in Cantonese, English, word by word from Master Chen Yan. I think this is something not many people can actually do it. And I really can't wait to hear Sister Siewching to bring more sharing to us tonight. Over to you, Sister Siewching.
Thanks so much, Sister Shirley, for all the kind words. Truly very kind. Thank you to brothers and sisters of Chiji for joining, and all the ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening tonight. It is I'm most honored, very grateful to Sister Suli for this opportunity to share, and very grateful to share of all books. So when she asked me, I said definitely this book first. It's one of my favorites, of course among all. I must confess, I still can't read Chinese after all these years. But I'm very grateful because recently there are more publications in English, and every book, if I could lay my hands on, I would definitely buy it and read it at least one time. And this book particularly touched my heart very deeply, even though after reading it again for the second time, the heartfelt feeling is more intense. Because we can see that this book, it has 540 pages divided into 5 parts. All these, each of it have so many wonderful stories of masters leading the path, paving the path, and praying that the disciples could broaden and deepen the path behind her. So among some of the, because of time constraint, I will choose a few good stories that touch my heart with brothers and sisters, with everyone tonight. Back on this book, Masters, upon receiving the 6 words from Grand Dharma Master Yin Sun, her master, which is for Buddha's teaching for sentient beings. Because of these 6 words, though it is short and briefly imparted, yet it were extremely profound, entered Master's heart and abide there permanently. From that moment, Master formed her aspiration and made a vow that last lifetime. Master is still fulfilling her vow until today. That's what Master said. It is said that a great tree originates from tiny seeds, and these 6 words that has transformed Master until today. The first stories that I choose is from this book on Selling Lotus Heart and Regaining Human Dignity, from page 282, from part 2. Master said, giving is not the special privilege of the rich. Anyone with genuine love can give. It's the story of Lawson Yang Lao Yan in Mandarin, Lawson Sanatorium, which is something like our Sungai Buloh, Malaysia side. We have this Sungai Buloh, the leprosy center. Imagine way back then in 1980s, when masters received these stories from the newspaper, masters read it. Apparently, that point of time, there were this group of leprosy patients, they were in great needs of help. Apparently, the government stopped aiding them at that point of time, so they wrote to the newspaper seeking for help. When Master read that article, Master quickly went over. Not many volunteers. In fact, back then, I think at Malaysia side, a long time ago, when we associate leprosy, it's something like, it's very contagious, maybe something like pandemic now that we are hearing it. Some people dare not, but of course the disciples, they trust Master a lot. When Master go there, they also follow timidly behind, because they know Master knows better. If it's not the right thing to do, Master wouldn't go there. So Master went there. Why these stories? I choose this story because of there's this Star Eye series, means over the City TV. If you could subscribe or watch it over the YouTube or whatever link. There's these stories. They have already documented it, make it into series. It is very heartfelt. I recall that back then when they interviewed the one of the senior people, Ching, the Lawson Lotus Abode. There's this Buddhist Society president. When they interviewed him, why that point of time it touched him so deeply, he said, normally when the monastic comes to the temple, when they go there, they will pray or chant with the people. When they know the needs, that's what they do, or they maybe give the teaching discourse. That's it. That's what the monastic will do. He said when he first heard that this master from Hualien will come to visit them, he was thinking, maybe this master is another person that will come to chant and pray for them. But to his surprise, the master not only didn't do that, master didn't even give a teaching. Then master asked, what do you all need? What are the things that they need? And master asked his of the conditions of the leprosy patients. He was so shocked. This is so different. This person, that point of time, he realized this Dharma master is different from other Dharma master. That point of time, this is the person next to it is one of the resident of this leprosy center. She later became the Tzu volunteer. I recall back then, when master found out that they are in great need, because at that point of time, all the people stayed mixing together, whether they are of great need or means they have, we know the leprosy patients are at the final moment, as the sickness took over them, they will lost usage of the hand. Some of them will go blind, even the hair will drop, and we know the conditions of the hands. But at that point of time, nobody was really taking care of this group of people. They were lying there, and the volunteers later, because they will go in and to write report what really are the needs. They discover that some of the leprosy patients, because they are blind, they can't even see what they're eating, and the volunteers were so surprised. They were like worms in the rice. But then winter was approaching, and yet then they noticed the place that they are staying, the accommodations was in such a poor condition. So master instructed everyone must quickly mobilize and take actions so fast. So this, in fact, the leprosy people were so surprised. Why such a hurry? They were thinking that we still have time, because maybe you need to access. Master said no. Then the volunteer told them, master said everything complete before winter, because if winter hits, then the people there will be suffering. Master could not bear. So not only Tzu Chi, they give aid on the food. Means Tzu Chi make sure, because volunteers, they notice that the food they are eating are more like of those that is not so nutrient, because of the limited in the resources. So master to give them the aid, not only in food. Master even hire people to cook, and because of the great wisdom, master ask people around, those leprosy patients who are still some of them are still healthy and active, ask if they wish to cook, and then master will pay them the salary. Tzu Chi will pay them. So there are people cooking, and they also hired the people inside to take care of the healthy one, to take care of the sick one. So such is the wisdom. that point of time, this group of leprosy patients, they never ask where's the money come from. When people ask them, who help you? They say, Tzu, do you know where the money comes from? They say, we don't know. Probably it's from the group of very rich people. Probably likely Tzu are very rich people. That's why they could aid us so much. It's like exceeding what we ask. We only expect maybe aid us in the food, but this is giving beyond the food. They are giving them also the care, also fix the house, also restructure means those very sickly. It's like those of the Tzu volunteers we are very fortunate because we have this chance to visit the Sungai Buloh. We can see the sickly one will be housed in the Changwu, we said long house, while the active one, they will have their own houses. They will stay. Those who like to buy flowers from this Sungai Buloh leprosy patients, you will notice those still healthy one, they can stay on their own in the Siamu, in their own houses. So it's similar like that. So likewise in Taiwan, they also Tzu also provided as such. So there will be people who could take care of this sickly one, and the active one, they could also like help those sickly. So later, how they knew, later when they found out that Tzu actually, in fact, all the monies come from all these poor, rich, everyone, from the very poor, like 5毛钱, every day they keep 5 cents, they donate 5 cents. They were so surprised. How did they discover it? Because one time they read the magazines that Tzu is seeking fund to build this hospital, and they heard how Tzu got the money, every single cent. It will be documented in the news, in the article. Wow, the residents were so shocked. They said, wow, if this, then they discovered it was such, by that time, their conditions have improved and government started to aid them better. So they asked Tzu to stop aiding them. But Master, realizing that their condition is still not, is that they still need to be dependent on other aids. So Master maybe cut on some, but still continue to provide the main aid for them. So at least they can eat the nutritious food. So after they discovered that Tzu really in need of this, is in the process of building the first hospital in Hualien. Later also, actually there are a lot of stories here, but I choose this. Okay, later, because Hualien, why Tzu built the first hospital in Hualien? Because Hualien happens to be one of the very remote areas. Imagine that place, for people to go to visit hospital, it will take like more than 8 hours, and often a life lost because of that long distance. So that's why Master could not bear, and a lot of conditions, causes and conditions, and later Tzu went to build the hospital. So these leprosy patients also, that point of time, they also seized that chance to donate. They said they find that themselves they have regained the dignity as humans, because in the past for them, it was so tough to do kindness because they are all inside this enclosed area, and people dare not come in, and they also dare not go out. So how to do good? But this time, because of this affinity to donate for the construction of Tzu Hospital, that's why they are so grateful they have this chance. There was this one of the leprosy resident, her name is Jing Yuan. She was blind and she lost the use of her limbs. When she heard of these Tzu spirits, she came with this idea to launch the heart lotuses, Xinglian. In Tzu, we often heard about Xinglian. Actually, where it comes from, it originated from this Jing Yuan, the blind leprosy patient. She was thinking, why don't she raise the fund internally inside the leprosy center? She asked people, would you like to let us donate 10,000 means something like 1,000 ringgit Malaysia, 10,000 Taiwan dollars, then we can have this one lotus heart lotus. Then people will ask her, where's the heart lotus? I can't see. She said, once you donate 10,000, that lotus will emerge in your heart. Wow, she's so inspiring, right? So people, some of them, they say, I don't have enough money. So a few people will garner their strength together and donate one heart lotus. We also have many touching stories. Some of them, they even donated all their savings. And there was one we heard, also they said what a coffin money in Chinese means her even that last saving, when the person about to depart, the person also decided to donate because they heard of this kindness. It's not easy to do kindness, so they are very grateful that they could. So that's why the residents said selling this this Lotus Hut, they said our place, they used to lament, sigh and say that their place, they feel that they're like animals in the zoo. They are segregated from the outside world. People from outside dare not come to them, and people from inside also dare not come out. Master Cheng Yen told them that the fact that the residents could overcome their suffering in difficult environment, cherish all the sentient beings unrelated to them, vowing to do good deeds in truly practicing. That is what is most difficult to practice. And Master praised them. Master said, it is not that you are segregated from the outside world, rather the stupidities, the delusions, afflictions from the outside world cannot enter this pure land. So Master likened their leprosy center as the pure land. Your kindness, are also pure. So this is a pure land that transcends even the heavens. It was so powerful. Imagine that. So imagine, that's why the people, so later, of course, so after they discover that they no longer become the recipient, soon they become the giver. So every month the volunteers will go in and they themselves also will make donations. In fact, some of them, like the picture we saw, some of them even turn into Tzu Chi volunteers. We heard that I think nowadays this sanatorium is already closed. I'm not really sure, maybe because just like Sungai Buloh, the residents, the aged ones slowly pass away, and now we have medicine. They can take the medicine and they can go back to return to their families, those that are still active and young. Okay, next to share is this part on the Ching aphorism. Words of wisdom. I trust that most of us here heard about this Ching aphorism. It's in part 3 of page 246. When Master Cheng Yen talks to her disciples, Tzu Chi members, or public figures, she always teaches according to the capabilities of her audience. Master's heart rarely quote from the sutra and speak in all those teachings. It will be very tough for people to understand. So Master's words is sincere and simple, yet they contain profound wisdom and Dharma teaching. That point of time, there was this legendary figure in the newspaper industry known as Ching. He's known as the king of print media. This person is credited for starting the world, starting this world to compile all these Master's wonderful teachings in a book. He co-paired with Gary Ho. Gary Ho is a Tzu Chi volunteer who introduced Mr. Kao to Master. Because Miss Gary, he was so touched by Master's wise words that inspire people to live their life with goodness, beauty, and virtuous conduct. Together, another person, which is Hong Lao Shi, which teacher Hong we know now. Back then, Hong Shuzhen, this Hong Lao Shi, she was a former journalist in one of the daily news known as Central Daily News. She was asked to interview Master, and affinity was such. 3 of them together started this journey to compile Master's words of wisdom. That point of time, how do they get it? They will, this Hong Lao Shi, teacher Hong, she will go to all the Tzu Chi volunteers, all these Opasan, all this they call it in Taiwanese, this elderly lady, ask them what words that inspire you the most. Then they will take the books. These words that's how she compiled bits by bits, words by words. That today we are so grateful that we have this Ching aphorism. And it also another reason back then was because of in 1989 when Tzu Chi Nursing College about to have its opening ceremony. So people were thinking what to give people. So they were thinking, why not this Ching aphorism? It was officially published then and distributed to these many of the person who visited this opening ceremony. So today it's very easy for us to remember. Each time we think about the anniversary, so the anniversary of Ching aphorism will call inside with this Tzu Chi Nursing College is the same, because the opening is the time when it was officially published. As I've mentioned before, Master speaks, she does not use the very flowery words, but yet Master is able to reveal the true wisdom through these simple teachings. To Masters, these Buddha Dharma are not about the obscure sutra passages, but the principle that can be applied in our everyday life. Recall there was this volunteer, her name is Chi Mami. She said she's one of the very pioneer volunteers back then. She said once when she was with Masters, she brought someone to visit Master. It's her friend, a very rich person, because at that point of time, Master wishes to construct Tzu Chi Hospital, and Tzu Chi is in great need of money, donations. So when she reached a boat, she couldn't see Master. Then someone said Master is in the ropes. She asked the person to be seated, and she went to look for Master. So Ji Mami said, Master, you quickly come out, my friend, a very rich one. You must come out faster and talk to her about this hospital construction. Then she apparently, like, she asked a few times, and then Master stopped, and Master asked her, if this person is rich, Master needs to come out quickly. But what about if the person is poor? Does it mean that Master can be slow? So indeed, Master said selfless giving is not the prerogative of rich, but of the sincere. So this also form another Jing aphorism. So all these are the kind or the word of wisdom that all these volunteers have. So Ji Mami, she herself has contributed a few. She said all from this a few encounters with Master. When Master thought about it, then she will remember and jot down. And all these volunteers, they will give to the Hong Lao Shi for compilation. This Jing aphorism saved my life. Actually, very often in our daily activities, we heard about this. In like example, in June 1990, in this book, it stated, Master received a letter from a young man. He mentioned, "Thank you, Master. Your Jing aphorism have saved my life." He was in debt for being a guarantor for his friend. In his desperation, he thought of robbing a bank typo. While waiting for a chance to rob, he saw a copy of Jing aphorism on the motorbike next to him. Count me in when doing good deeds, count me out when doing bad deeds. This sounds very simple, right? To us, many of us thought, this is so, there is nothing much, but imagine if the challenge comes. When you read this, it will be a different thing altogether. I remember there was a year I joined Tzu Chi, this parent-child bonding class with my kids. And one of the when we asked to share on this Jing aphorism, one of the students mentioned, as he was walking home from school, as he passed through this CC computer center place, he wanted to join. He was thinking, my parents wouldn't know, I just go and play some games. But then he suddenly remembered this. He said, last month, he received this Jing aphorism. We were sharing about this. This is the Jing aphorism. Count me in when doing good deeds. Count me out when doing bad deeds. When he remembered that, he said, I cannot go because this is bad deeds. Then he walked back home. So that story inspired us a lot. You see, not only Jing aphorism can inspire adults, and often it can touch us and inspire many young kids as well. There are all these Jing aphorism that we can see in English and various today. It is in many languages. Hope that each of maybe we can contemplate on ourselves. I'm not sure. Maybe later the sisters they will have activity. Which Jing aphorism, or you can feel free to type which Jing aphorism touches you most. And I trust that today many of us we are sharing Jing aphorism to our group of friends. I often I have this being inspired by my sister-in-law, who is also a Tzu Chi commissioner. Many years ago, she shared with me how she would share with her friends daily. I too will share with my friends. Sometimes I will receive response that my friends say, fortunately, I read your Jing aphorism today. Otherwise, I will start an argument. Sometimes they say with the husband or with the colleagues or with their bosses. They say somehow the words of Jing aphorism. Let them hold a second, be in samadhi and think, let's not do it. Let's not regret the lifetime punishment, because once the bad words is uttered out, it's tough to take back. So we are grateful. I also will share with the care recipients and some of the refugees. It's always very wonderful. Okay, next another one stories on this building a bridge of great love between China and Taiwan. As we all know, the relationship between these two countries was not so favorable, especially in the past. Imagine that. So Master during one point of time, I think back in 1989, August 25th, at Sun Yat-sen Memorial Hall in Taipei, Master spoke this to a group of 4,000 Tzu Chi volunteers. That point of time, because there are so many, 200 million people in Eastern and Central China. They were suffering from the worst flood of the century. Master said from the last month at every meal, when Master hold up her bowl, she thought of the disaster survivors in mainland China who don't even have a single strain of rice to eat. Master thought of many elderly people who cannot escape the water, the flood waters, and whose bed have been washed away by the water. It is very difficult for Master to swallow that rice right in front of her. We read in the newspaper, Master said that so many people crowded in the attics of the city buildings. They do not even have rooms to sit down, tightly pressed against each other, back to back. They can only sleep standing up. Imagine that, because of the great flood. So Master were thinking, how can I lie on my bed and be at ease when I sleep? Because Master, we understand, if we understand Guan Yin Bodhisattva heart, they can feel when there are cries from people who are in suffering. This Bodhisattva, they could feel the cries of the suffering. So Master also could not bear. When the volunteers heard about that, they agreed to help Masters to start the donations. Was it easy? Actually, we heard it was not easy back then. There were a lot of people scolding them. Whose duty is it? It's not your country. Help your own country. Why you go and help China? Let it be the China government responsible a lot. So often the volunteers, when they seek donations, they were scolded. But yet they believe in Masters. They never give up. As the Masters send this group of people, the 6 people that are going to China to build this bridge, because the CC volunteers have to talk to these China officials to render the assistance. Master reminded them, we are going there to beg people to allow us to do disasters relief. So when we talk to others, we must know how to be respectful and amicable in our attitude. If our ideas conflict with others, then we must do our best to overcome it. We must be patient and humble to complete our missions harmoniously. That's the advice given to this group of 6, including Wang Duanzhen. He's the leader for this Ciji as they walk into China. So it was easy. Actually, it was not easy, because it was the first time China meeting this Ciji group of volunteers. When they proposed, Ciji proposed to them, it was rejected. It was not easy, because the Ciji governments were thinking, why don't you just give me the money? I will help you to distribute. There are so many people suffering out there. You go there, sure, it will be very chaotic. Maybe people will, governments also have their considerations. They also worry these volunteers because they don't have the background, don't know whether they can handle it. Nanti sekali, all these people suffering, all rush, and maybe they fight over each other to take the goods. That's why it was not easy. The first time it failed, but then the volunteers remember what Master said. We went there, we are begging people to let us help. Until today, actually, Ciji volunteers, we are still using the principles. Even today, as for me, myself, as I'm doing activities, even though certain activities, people from outside will say that you are helping others, why do you have to act as, if the people don't take your offering, you have to go so down, so low to beg people for you to help them, because we remember this is what happened in the past. All these principles that we have shared is still used by volunteers. So I also always remember in that, we are the one who wants to go and help people, be it the care recipient or whatever. So when people give us all these sour faces, we have to take it, because we are the one asking for it. So we are always, with that, transform different thoughts. Nothing will be a challenge, because we trust the sincerity in ourselves. People will definitely be trust. Just give them more time. So truly, these volunteers they face these challenges. They went back to the hotel and they think again. After several rounds, finally they managed to obtain the approval from this China Disasters Relief Associations. It was after several rounds of negotiations. The associations not only they are able to accept Ciji proposed conditions for these relief missions. What are the Ciji proposed conditions? Let's just have a look. It's these few conditions. The one purpose. What is one purpose? One purpose is providing, Ciji said, our one purpose is to provide relief to survivors in disasters areas to help them get through cold autumn and winter. 2 principles that Ciji have. The principles of directness, they have to go directly to the care recipient, to the people in need, and prioritize what are their needs. The three no's. Ciji does not, 3 no's. Ciji does not discuss politics. Ciji does not promote itself, nor Ciji preach religion. These are the 3 no's that Ciji will observe during the disasters relief. 4 types of materials that Ciji will provide: medical treatments, food, clothing, and money. 5 hopes. What are the 5 hopes that Tzu Chi has for these missions? Cooperations from both sides, additional manpower. Tzu Chi will provide additional manpowers. Hopefully the other side also can, from be it the residents or whatever. Tzu Chi mission, actually, Master mission is to inspire the kindness in heart. That's why we need this additional manpower. Actually, is to inspire the locals. Transportation support. Tzu Chi will provide the transportation, data and information support. They need to get together all these from the locals. Even the transport, they also have to get it from the locals. And tools to aid the relief efforts. These 5 conditions, China Disasters Relief Association, finally they agreed. Not only they totally accepted Tzu Chi these 5 conditions, they also give full support for the disasters team to enter the disaster site for on-site assessment. Tzu Chi normally will do, not normally, so far they will definitely do the on-site assessments except for certain very peculiar conditions, then they do not do. I heard recently from one of the disasters missions that they did not do that for certain reason, Haiti, if I'm not mistaken, because they say if you do site assessments, meaning that place is already in very chaotic situations, that people would go riot really, because it was already the security already lost control. So that's the only place that when they distribute it's like given to everyone. Otherwise, they will do the assessment because they would like to know the priority, what things are really needed by the people and who really needs it so often. So that's this was shared by during one of the diligence day. That is Tzu Chi spirit. A lot of times we don't choose to hold on because there's hope. We hold on. That's why there's hope. That's what Master is doing. She's paving the path and guiding the volunteers, everyone. So Master is very grateful to all the volunteers. This is actually, in fact, Master said, it's the spirit of Sutra of Infinite Meanings, which is the very central of Tzu Chi, Jing Si lineage. Master said she's very grateful to every community, to every province, countries. All these people moving step to step in the same directions. How can these steps be extended? They must be walked with love. All support each other in walking this path. Though we are but one individual, but yet each of us can inspire infinity. Every one of us have this ability. That's why today Master Tzu Chi has reached so many countries, because Master believing in everyone has this ability. Like this Dr. Mesa that we have heard recently, the stories that he's a medical doctor and he managed to inspire many people in Paraguay to help the locals. He and his family members, there are 11 people in his family members who are doctors. They are helping, they're continuing Tzu Chi missions in their country. Likewise, even in Malaysia, it's all started from that one little seed. Just like a firefly, Master said, together, one firefly lights cannot be very bright, but together all of us can shine brightly. So Master hopes that all of our life, we can deepen our footprints here and make our life more meaningful. It will never be the same again. 盘点 means taking inventory of what we have done, all the kindness, making this life a bit more beautiful. Spirit of one to infinity. Okay, before I end the session, may I share this hand sign language, a video that we have performed, a group of sisters. I hope that you could be inspired. We like to take it. That's the beauty of it. Comes from giving without any expectation. Giving and keep giving without any expectation. Beauty comes from the hand holding each other. Sorry, I didn't realize what fun. Okay, thank you for watching. I haven't watched this for some time. I'm so forgotten.感恩 brothers and sisters for your time.感恩 ladies and gentlemen for listening. And back to I think Sister Sharon.感恩.
What a wonderful sharing! My God, here the weather. By the way, I'm now in UK. It's so windy and cold. But whatever sharing you just did is really warmed my heart. I'm not sure about anybody, but I feel so touched, you know. In fact, I have this book. I feel very guilty now. I must go back and read all. So such a wonderful, inspired story, insight, and full of wisdom. I really, really appreciate everybody can pick up the books and read. And there are plenty of wonderful lessons we can learn from Master Chen Yen. This is just bits and pieces that Sister Siewching have shared with us today, but I'm sure there are plenty of other books. So many books. I just can't wait to hear more and more sharings. And so wonderful to have Sister Siewching. I really feel touched about all your sharing. You have done such a wonderful homework. That put a lot of pressure for the next speaker, yeah, next sharer. What we have here in 2 weeks' time is, or maybe before that, can I ask anybody have any question for Sister Siewching before we wrap up these sessions? Anyone?
Or anyone can share what is your favorite 经世言 or which words of wisdom could help you at what point of time in your life. Feel free to share.
Why so quiet?
Brother
Let me share. Jeff here. Kanano, Sister Siewching.
Kanano, brother.
Lovely Dharma. In fact, like just now, Sister Shireen was wondering why Sister she is not Chinese educated, yet she can share Dharma in English, in Cantonese, and she's a Hakka, so probably she can share in Hakka. And okay. So one day also we have a Hakka session. You see, that day Sangren also mentioned the Xiao Pusa, Lo Wei Zhe, she keep on arguing with the father. The father say Sangren is giving the sermon in Taiyu, in Hokkien. But how come you can understand? Then this Lo Wei Zhe, this Xiao Pusa say, no, she is sharing in Mandarin. Sangren sharing in Mandarin. So what's the message? The message is the truth is not in the language, or the truth is not in the wordings, but it's how we comprehend with our heart. Using our heart to comprehend the Dharma, the principle. We should not be attached to the words and languages. If we use the languages too much, I think we'll somehow miss the point, we'll miss the principle. So I think Sister Siewching has already got the gist, the real essence of the Dharma. we do not depend on too much on the languages and the wordings, but more on the application part. The more we do, the more we serve the masses, I think we'll realize the principle, the truth, easier and faster. Okay, that's my little sharing tonight. Kanan everyone for making this possible. Sister Shireen, Sister Suling, and everyone. Sister, our sister.
Very grateful to the founder, the person who come up with this, Sister Suling. Very
Sister Suling, yes.
And Sister Shirley, even though in UK so far, still benefit us. Very kind to all the ladies and gentlemen, to the brothers and sisters who selflessly give your time to join us today. Very kind.
Yeah. Maybe I would like to share one small story. Just 2 days ago, we were having this give out to the homeless, right? I think what Sister Siewching have shared with us, giving is not a special privilege of the poor. When we were giving out the hot food to the homeless, we actually bring in some the coin box, and one of the homeless actually give 50p. I mean, it's not a lot, but to us, it's a token that is a kindness that homeless people give, 50p. And everybody can do good deeds. I think it's something which come from their heart. And also very, very touching story is at the end of the session, when we kind of like wrap up, close all the stuff, one or two homeless actually stay back to help us to clean the place. I think that's a wonderful session. Kindness is not, everybody has it, it's just whether they can give back to the society or not. I think this is something which the more you do, I think the more you can appreciate, we can walk the talk as we go along.
Good sharing.
Anybody, any questions? If not, I would like to invite all of you or your friends and family can come and join us in 2 weeks' time to listen to Sister Effie. And this time round, she's going to talk about a book called Master of Love and Mercy. This book, I have read it. I must say, is also a very touching story about Master Chen Yan, from she become into startup Tzu Chi all the way when she is doing Tzu Chi. I think it's a great and wonderful book. Can't wait to have Sister to share with us in 2 weeks' time. Please invite all your friends and relatives to join us. Really means a lot to us. Can keep, the encouragement from all of you is needed so that we can keep pushing and pushing and pushing.
Yeah, definitely, Sister Effie is a very great sharer. Everywhere she goes, she will promote this book. It's always very powerful.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear, really.
Yeah. Sister Effie is online, maybe Sister Effie.
Yeah, Sister Effie, maybe you can give us some teaser or something. Yeah.
I heard she sold 40 of these books. Maybe 2 weeks' time later, after she shares, she will sell another 40 books.
By the way, all the books can be sourced in Ching's bookshop, not just to confine to these few books that sister or brother have been sharing. There are plenty other good books as well. Sister Effie, anything, a teaser for us?
Good day to everyone. Sharing is in UK. I think that the time difference, right? So
it's okay. It's only 2 o'clock. It's okay.
This book is it's a very good book to me personally. I would say that 3 days ago, I managed to get a public person, a Christian lady working in the hospital. I just spoke to her about this book. Actually, she was coming from a very conservative family. I spoke to her. I snapped the photo, exactly this book, and I just say it's an autobiography about Master. Of course, just now, Sister Siewching told us that in the in Siewching, we don't discuss about religion, so we have to be cautious on that note. So I told her about this book, whether she would like to, in order to know Siewching a little bit more, because she's very new to Siewching. She has not joined Siewching at all. So just in a matter of 10 minutes, I sold this book.
Wow.
10 minutes, I sold this book to her. And this today, 2 days later, I met her. Today, I met her at the hospital. Because she's working in the hospital, I met her and I asked her how she feel about this book. She told me it's wonderful. She has started to read, you see. So I can't, I think for all starters like me, who doesn't know Chinese, who can't read Chinese, and also very new to Siewching in the beginning, this is the book that led me, that changed my course, that changed my direction, my life direction. After knowing a young lady, such a beautiful lady, so rich, so wealthy, and well loved by the parents, why she chose this journey. So this is inside this book. This is just a small reading. Okay, so not to take out everybody's time. So this is what led me want to read. And when I found this, when I got this book, there was only 2 books only in the cafe, Ching cafe. And I asked them, how come there's no other English book? They said, oh, we cannot have more because no people like to buy books, especially from the English-speaking world. So in Ching cafe, sad to say, we have only 1 book. So difficult to get English books, no. So after I read this book, I pushed forward, I requested this cafe, Ching cafe in Selangor to bring in the books. You know what they asked me? Can you confirm? What if the book don't sell? Are you going to take up? I told her, you give me 40 books. After I read this book, you give me 40 books. I will buy all. That means you put under my account. And really, it's more than 40 books already. We have sold. I'm under what I know so far, more than 40 books. So even people have met, not only to Siewching people, even students, I met students on the way to for a charity visit. I spoke to her about this book. And then on the way back, 3 hours later, because we had to travel very far, 1.5 hours to reach the orphanage and 1.5 hours to come back. So along the way, I was talking about Siewching, about master. 1.5 hours back to Ching Hall, when I sent her back, suddenly this young lady, less than 19 years old, she asked me, I would like to have this book, but I cannot afford to buy this book. So I said, it doesn't matter. I give her one of the book because I have spare book. Purposely, I gave to her. And she is also, she's a Christian, you see. So hearing it without reading it, people are already very interested to know Master Ching and more. This is what a few words that I can say today. Karen, thank you very much.
Karen, sister, to be honest, this is also the first book that introduced by my Ching Hall, the workers there. In fact, I say I'm new to Tzu Chi. That was back in, I think, 3-4 years ago. They say, oh, this book you must read. That's the first book I bought. So I can't wait to hear more in 2 weeks' time. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in to that tonight. And I wish everybody a wonderful good night. And I shall see you in 2 weeks' time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cảm ơn.
Bye.
Everyone.
Take care.
Bye.
Oh, shall we take a group photo next time?
Group photo. Can take a...
how many of us left here? Okay, we take a group photo lah.
Must on the camera.
Okay. Let's on the camera. Yeah.
Oh, Raj also there. Hello, Raj.
Huh? Who's there? Okay, there's a P2 Yap, SS Wong sister. Do you want to on your what? Not we take, Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, okay. 1, 2, 3.
Thank
Okay,
you all, everybody.
okay, please, Shirley, please do the
Yes.
hip again. You want to do the heart shape again? Shirley, can hear me?
Can. Very
You
nice.
want to do the heart shape again? Take one more round.
Yes.
Oh, cannot see. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, good. Okay, many already. Good. Thank you.
好棒哦。
Oh, that one also. Okay, sister, miss already. One more time, sister Effie. One more time, please. 5, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. Okay, good.
OK，好棒哦，谢谢哦大家，哎，感恩，
感恩。
Good night, everybody.
感恩，
See you in 2 weeks time.
Bye.
Good night.